Hello everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome back to another episode of Amps and the Axe Effects series. Today we're going to be checking out a really cool boutique amp called the Ruby Rocket. And guys, if this is your first time here or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. I do giveaways, Axe Effects tutorials, gear reviews, all kind of good stuff, and I don't want you to miss any of that good stuff. So without any further ado, let's jump in and check out the Ruby Rocket. So the Ruby Rocket is kind of an interesting little lamp. It's sort of a two-channel lamp. I'll explain that in a little bit. It's made by Mr. Paul Ruby, and he called it the Ruby Rocket after himself. So the Ruby Rocket is modeled after the Trainwreck Rocket, but it's a little bit different. Some noticeable differences. This is what Cliff says right here. It has some notable differences. This is coming from the Axe Effects wiki, by the way. So what I was saying about the two-channelness is in the Axe Effects we have a normal mode and we have a bright mode. So the bright switch changes a coupling cap and the treble cap, and the tone stack cuts the bass, shifts the mid-range, and lowers the gain slightly. This is why there are two separate models. Otherwise, you would just engage the bright switch under the treble knob. So yeah, so I like that he did this. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I kind of like the bright mode a little bit more. It's a little bit more tamer, and yeah. So it's based off of the Trainwreck Rocket, like I was saying, but there are a lot of noticeable differences. This amp kind of feels a little bit more wilder, if that makes any sense. It has a little bit more gain in it. Let's just check it out because I can talk about it all day, but if you don't actually hear anything, guitar is going to be in use is my Tom Anderson Cobra. It has Anderson pickups, has the HC1 in the neck and an HC3 in the bridge. I'm going to go through different pickup positions, but a majority of the stuff you're going to hear today is going to come from my bridge parallel position, which kind of gives it like a single coil tone. So let's start on the Ruby Rocket, which I like to call the normal setting. Let's check that out. IR-wise, I'm using a Fender. It's basically the Fender Double Verb 57C is the cab that I'm using because the Ruby Rocket doesn't specifically have cabs in here, and most of the time it's paired with like a 112. So I just chose kind of something neutral that a lot of people would know and love. Settings for the IR, it's very simple stuff. I just put a little bit of room in there. I'm gonna forget. Let me show you the output EQ. I just cut a little bit of mids because this amp has a crap ton of mids in it. So talking so much, let's hear what it sounds like. So as you can hear, this amp doesn't really like hot pickups, nor does it like humbuckers. These pickups really aren't super hot. They're really, really not. And it's just, it has so much like bass response. I literally only have the bass like at like 4 right now, but let me cut it and let's go back to the bridge. So as you can see, it did get a little bit better when I messed with it. I was using my bridge for all of that. It can get kind of insane. It really has a lot of gain. It surprised me how much gain this thing has. Like, literally, like, from 1 to 2, that's its peak spot. Because I find once you push it past there, it gets really insane. Everything I'm dialing is going to be off of authentic. So you see, the master is already, like, cranked all the way because of how the amp itself is configured. It's not really a master volume amp. It's mainly off of the drive where it gets its volume. And I just dial it in from here. You don't even have any, really don't have any middle knob to mess with on authentic. That's why I cut the mids right there. This mode, I can see it getting some use. I think this mode is better for like single coil guitars like Strats, honestly, because it kind of gives you that appropriate amount of gain, and it's too wild for humbuckers, in my opinion. I know I say that, but it's just I find it would work better with that. Now the Bright, like we talked about before, what Cliff said, it changes stuff. It shifts the mid range. I like this mode a little bit better. As you can see, look at the level right here. So it's more of a quieter channel, but it gives you a little bit more flexibility, in my opinion. Output, it's pretty much the same thing. I pretty much cut the same amount of mids. I'm going to start in the same spot and do the same thing, go through the pickups. Let's check out the Bright mode. I like the Bright switch. I like the Bright mode more. I'm sorry about that. I didn't notice that the balance was down right here. It's because a lot of the patches that I make it from like an empty preset that I have, and I need to update that. Sorry about that. So the volume is it's still lower overall. It's kind of about the same level wise. There it is a little bit lower. I like the Bright. It's a little bit more spanky. It's a little more controlled. As you can see, the gain is definitely lower because I'm about a full number up. That was at 1. This one's at 2. This one has a lot more spankiness going on. Still using the same IR there. I think you can get some very interesting tones with the Ruby Rocket. It's not an amp I think a lot of people who use the Axe FX would immediately jump for, but if you're a Trainwrecker fan and you just kind of want something a little different, it's not the normal Trainwreck amps are not vibing with your guitars. You could try something new. The Bright one is my favorite. And like I said, I think the normal Ruby Rocket mode would be a little bit better with some strats. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for the Paul Ruby Rocket. Guys, if you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Guys, we are moving into some really awesome amps because coming up, we have the Bogner Shiva 20th anniversary. We have the Soldano X88 and X89 preamps, and we have the Soldano 100 coming up. So we have a lot of good stuff coming up. The Bogners, we have it's called the Spawns, but the Splawns in here, the Shures, the Super Tweeds, and we are getting into Mesa territory. We're getting into Mesa territory right here, some Vibroluxes, and then we're going to end it off with some the Wrecker Rocket. That's what we're going to end it off with. But, yep, we have some really cool stuff coming on, guys. You really should subscribe because we got a lot of cool stuff coming. And guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me watching this video. I really do appreciate it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.